Gabby, besides having to talk to media today, how is your day going?
It's going great. Got a coffee from a new coffee shop this morning. I got a really good vegan BLT from a place I love in the city. So far, 10 out of 10.
Are you still San Francisco based?
I am. Yeah. Born and raised.
Yeah, that is super intriguing to me because when we think of Disney, the average people, we think of Anaheim or we think of Orlando. It's cool that you're able to work as an animator related to Disney, but out there.
Yeah, it was the pandemic was how it happened is we'd been in pandemic for about a year and my whole family's up here, has always been up here. I'd been in LA, I think, for 10 years at that point. So I just popped up. But I think a few other people were able to work from home in places that they preferred also at the time. So pandemic.
For you, was it a big transition to learning how to work from home in this kind of field? Because the average person does not exactly know what all the tools are for animation. The average person is picturing, easels and all that, not realizing that it shifted to computers.
Yeah. Well, okay. So actually, the day that everybody went home, I remember my producer at the time said like, okay, bring your computer just in case. Haha, it'll probably be fine. And I was really lucky I actually didn't take that as a joke and brought my computer home. Um, it was handled extremely well. And I think that everybody who was working at Disney in the storyboard department where I am managed to, because it is like desk and you have a Cintiq and you have your computer and you have all the programs. So it was a learning curve, but I
Mhm.
think everybody had like a great attitude. We ended up making a few movies in the pandemic. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it was hard, but not too hard. Especially moving up here was not a big deal because I'd already been work from home for a year.
In your case, was there any hesitation towards going on camera? Because I know you have an extensive background in filmmaking, and oftentimes you see directors, producers, they want to do anything possible to not be in front of the camera.
That's a great question. I actually love being on camera. I love being in front of the camera. I love audiences. That's one of my favorite things. So it was not scary for me. I really like it. I came.
Your
I, sorry.
sorry, your IMDb page has an acting credit for a short film. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my short film. It was called Dennis the Dinosaur. That was a live action. Like I animated this dinosaur, like a Gertie the dinosaur, Winsor McKay in that style, and then I ran up on stage and like acted with the dinosaur. So I'm into like theater. Um, not like I did theater in high school. I used to be very shy, so that was my way to like bring myself out of my shell, and then fell in love with it. So not scary for me.
In this case, you were part of Sketchbook. Did you realize way back when, like, oh, plus I'm going to have to do media in support of this? I'm going to have to do press days?
I did not know. It keeps on being a surprise to me. Yeah, I had no idea. Didn't know. I went down to LA for like an interview day. Thought that would be the end of it. And then I don't know, it's my first time doing anything like this. So I like it. It's fun, down for the ride, but every single piece of it has been a surprise.
How much should they actually film you for compared to what we see on camera?
Oh, it was a whole day. I think I came in at 8 o'clock in the morning and I went home at 8 o'clock at night. By the end, I was loopy, but there was no talking shots at the end, so it worked out fine.
Wow, so that's a really small percentage of what they showed. They didn't show you eating lunch or anything like that.
No, no, no. Yeah, I was surprised at like how well spoken I sound because I rambled a lot, and the editors did an incredible job of making it nice and concise and getting the meaning across.
And when exactly was it filmed compared to now and it being out into the world?
It was, I think, last June, like midway through last June. Um, I judged now by like where was my hair at that point? Like how much did I cut it? Yeah, I think June.
And it's great that it's out into the world, but an amazing thing about Disney is everyone seems to be working on projects that are coming out 3 years ahead.
Yes.
So you don't have to say names. I don't want to violate any embargoes, but how far ahead are you working on projects right now?
The last one that I worked on was Strange World, which is announced, so I'm allowed to say it. And that one's going to be amazing. Yeah, my favorite thing that it's the thing that I was, how do I say it? It's the thing that I know I would be the biggest fan of. Like I love everything. I love all the movies. Encanto was incredible,
Mhm.
Encanto was incredible. But it's the thing that if I was a kid, I would watch it on repeat again and again. So really excited for that one to come out.
Right. So it's pretty incredible that you're able to keep secrets also.
Yes, yes, yeah. I've
Yeah,
I've I've learned to do that.
the life of the animator is very patience oriented. I have a short attention span, but whereas you have to, if you're animating somebody doing this, you have to do and all
Yeah,
that.
man.
Did you always have a short? I'm sorry. Did you always have a long attention span, or was it with maturity that came?
Oh, I don't. I have ADHD. I have a very short attention span. I have trouble with procrastination all the time. So my when I do this, when I do the work well, it's in a last minute panic state. But as far as like getting it done, I love the work and it's important to me. So I'm able to, even with a short attention span, just because I really like it.
And I'd have to imagine being featured in something like Sketchbook, that anybody in your past who ever tried to invalidate you not having a quote real job has to see this, and this is the official CV maker for you.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned a few times in interviews that like nobody ever doubted me except for me. I was the only one, and I was very vehement about like, there's no way I can do it. But I was very lucky to have a support system that the whole time was like, are you sure? I feel like you could. Um, so I use it as a way to show myself that like, you thought you couldn't? Very silly. You can.
But
Uh,
you did, you can, etc. So
yeah.
two quick questions, and then I'm going to let you go. And the first one is, besides Sketchbook, what's the second best thing that we can watch on Disney Plus?
Ooh, I'll tell you, oh man, there's a lot of really good stuff. All right, I was going to say the other thing that I worked on is the Baymax shorts. I helped one of those. I was a storyboarder for Lissa Tryman, and there's an episode about periods on there that I really like and was very dear to me. But the one that I watch a lot is there's a National Geographic um, film or documentary series about whales. I love whales, so check that out if you like whales.
Yeah, that is a cool thing about Disney when you think about it. When I was a kid, it was pretty much you hear Disney and you think of the theme parks and animated films. And now being that there's the Nat Geo stuff and ESPN, there really is something for everybody within the world. And I mean, hey, Beatles stuff, that, etc. But hey,
Yeah.
last thing for you. Favorite band or musical artist when you have to actually work and pay attention? What do you
Oh
have?
man, that's a great question. That's such a good question. Okay. My favorite band is a band called Pup. They're a Canadian like pop punk band. I love them. I just saw
Oh
them
yeah.
twice. Yeah, I just saw them twice. Once in San Francisco and once in Sacramento. Amazing.
Mhm.
But they're not good for listening while you work. So my favorite band for listening to while you work is a band called the Bets. They're from New Zealand. It's a similar vibe, but a lot softer. It's great fun, but like you can turn it on and not be like, yeah, as you're working.
Was Pup the first one that you said? Were they who did this on New York City by They Might Be Giants?
I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
so. But
Well, either way, great musical taste. Appreciate your background and looking forward to everything that's to come from you. Congratulations on getting your name and face out there in a really cool way like this. I mean, let's face it, it's better than being on the cover of your local newspaper, is it not?
yeah, it's can't believe it. It's really awesome. I'm really excited.
Thanks for your time, Gabby. Have a great one.
Thank you, Darren. Nice to meet you.
Paltrocast.